Hello, and thank you for listening. My name is Riley, and together with Austin, Kiera, and Vanessa, we have overseen the Mirage operations for the last 2 years. The purpose of this presentation is to fill you in and provide you with the insight on the hotel's performance through our years of operation. To start, we will briefly discuss an overview of the hotel, followed by the strategy used in operating it. After that, we will discuss the Mirage's overall performance and emergent strategies. Lastly, we will provide a summary of our lessons learned and recommendations for future management teams going forward. The Mirage has 250 rooms, 50 of which are premium and 200 standard. When we took the hotel over, it was 8 years old and had a 3-star rating. It had a very similar footprint, facilities, and services as its 8 other competitors. The hotel was equipped with a restaurant, a bar lounge, and other hotel amenities for the guests to enjoy. The facilities had not yet been refurbished, and when our management team took over, it was made clear that operations were struggling. When we took over the Mirage, our plan was to implement a differentiation and focus strategy that appealed to business travelers. This meant focusing on increasing food costs to ensure better quality, closely focusing on training and staffing, maintaining the facilities, and increasing the number of staff while decreasing turnover rates. Our goal was to differentiate ourselves by providing exceptional customer service and a great experience for our customers within our restaurant and bar lounge. Moving forward, we discovered some of our decisions-making processes varied from the operations plan. We were, however, able to make effective decisions based off of customer service feedback, competitive set information, and metrics from previous months. To highlight some of our successes, we were able to capture just over our fair share of the market at 11.35%. From year 1 to year 2, we also had a $1.5 million increase in revenue. To decide on room rates for the Mirage Hotel, we reviewed our specific competitive hotels based on average to high-end prices. We looked at average room rates as well as the quality of our competitors and priced our rooms accordingly. In year 1, our prices were as low as $169. As we added new facilities and amenities over the year, our hotel had increased in value, allowing us to increase room rates to as high as $265. By increasing our value, it allowed us to slowly increase our prices without losing customers. Since our quality was high and our staff's competency levels jumped from 85% in year 1 to 98.5% in year 2, raising our room rates made sense and was worth it. As for pricing, we closely analyzed our resources. We wanted to stay under La Station's rates as they consistently charge the highest prices. We made sure not to go above their prices in efforts to gain some of their business. Our strategy was basing our prices similar to the White Sails Inn. This is because we have similar hotels, which made them a great benchmark. The occupancy levels stayed fairly consistent between year 1 and year 2. It ranged from 65 to 85%. Changing the room rates based on factors such as the season helped keep these numbers consistent throughout the year. Consistently monitoring trends and our competitors' moves helped us use pricing as a strategy to help maintain high occupancy levels. Our food and beverage costs were high, but we were able to achieve a healthy level at around 30% of total revenue. Educated food and beverage forecasting allowed us to hire an appropriate number of workers each month. We used competitor food prices and analysis of our price-value map to choose prices that would reflect high-quality food and service at a fair price. Constant training of food and beverage workers helped us achieve a high standard for our guests. We increased wages relative to the competitive set and occasionally hired extra servers and production attendants when we forecasted busier months. In November of year 1, we tried to balance our food revenues and expenses by decreasing the cost of food. We received customer feedback that the food just wasn't the same. It was in our best interest to return to a higher quality product to maintain strong relationships with our repeat customers. We decided early on to focus our advertising through the direct and OTA channels. During quarter 1 in the first year of operations, we failed to spend the recommended 6% of revenue, and customers clearly had trouble finding information about our hotel. As revenue increased, we increased the costs of marketing accordingly, which led to great market momentum, and our guests could easily find the information they needed to know about the hotel. To enhance the Mirage's marketing activities, we hired a director of sales and constantly elected a sales blitz. His efforts made in visiting potential and existing clients aided in generating revenue from business travelers. Right away, we realized that the associate facilities were in poor condition. We renovated them to perfect condition, hoping it would result in better staff performance, and it worked out in our favor. Staff competency and customer service was maintained at 98%, which was our goal. To keep those numbers high, we made the decision to increase wages to above industry average, and we increased them even more during our busiest months. In March of year 1, we accidentally overstaffed our telephone operators, hiring 43 people instead of 4. It cost us an extra $112,000 in staff wages and put us at a negative cash balance for the month. This mistake was, however, easy to find, and we took more caution in our hiring procedures. It took time to be able to afford adding facilities to the Mirage. Because of that, guest satisfaction for the 2-year term was just under 70%. By the end of the 2 years, we were able to achieve 84% satisfaction, leaving the Mirage in good standing to grow even more. In the first year, we added smaller facilities like a travel desk, lobby kiosk, and valet parking. By the end of year 2, we were able to construct everything in the hotel except for the boat dock. We thought it was necessary to provide our guests with all possible services. By July year 2, we had every service for our guests to enjoy. Since we were trying to appeal to business clients, we started by adding an express check-in, foreign exchange, and guest room internet. The additions cost us approximately $4 million. In the 2 years, we earned back $3 million, so we can forecast that they will all be paid off by the end of year 3. We decided early on that we should start paying off the outstanding loan. We tried to keep a cushion in our cash account ranging from $100,000 to $300,000 once we started seeing profitability. When we had more cash on hand in the busy months, we paid additional loan payments. By the end of the second year, we paid off $4.3 million from the initial balance of $19 million, which has left the hotel in great standing. In planning our 2-year term for the Mirage, we projected total revenues for the second year to be just over $18 million and aiming for a net profit percent of 2.5. We ended up exceeding those projections, making $24.5 million in revenues and achieving a net profit percent of 16.5. Year 1 and year 2 did not differ much, but there was a $3 million increase in revenue and a net profit increase of 2%. Our GOP fluctuated between 29 and 43% depending on the month. We ended the second year at 36%, which was a major improvement on our projection of 24. While reviewing the room forecast and our room pricing in year 1, we discovered we had made a mistake. We consistently overestimated our occupancy levels, which led to overstaffing and some minor mistakes. Although we noticed this, we continued to overestimate our room forecast because it had been working. Our occupancy rate was still high most of the time, and we found no reason to change it until May of year 2. Total occupancy was at a record low of 58% for the month. We decided then to adjust our rooms forecast based off the previous month's occupancy levels. During the first 2 quarters of year 1, we only applied training to employees who were falling below 90% competency levels. After receiving feedback from a customer that our employees seemed stressed, we began training all employees, consistently increasing their wage to reflect their abilities. This allowed us to achieve a higher level of competency from year 1 to year 2. Overall, the hotel is in much better shape than we received it in. We did not take out any additional loans and made great progress on our current outstanding balance. The same plan should be implemented over the next few years to save on interest charges. We recommend to keep paying off the loan while continuing to maintain the balance between $100,000 to $300,000. We would also recommend to continue to analyze competitor food prices and the price value map. Forecasting for food and beverage is easier than forecasting rooms, and therefore managers should take advantage of this task. The first year we took over the Mirage, we were very cautious when it came to adding larger facilities and changing room prices. It had the benefit of not having a risk factor, but if we had advanced at a quicker pace, we could have established a greater competitive advantage. And also, when we noticed that we were overestimating the forecast for occupancy rates at the end of year 1, We should have analyzed the numbers to make more precise forecasting. It worked out and we overestimated for the rest of the year. However, educated forecasting could have aided in our overall performance. We at the Mirage would like to say thank you for watching our presentation.